I cannot believe it, Glenn. 2023, 2024 season starts on Wednesday. It's been since June 25th since we've last got together.
Wow.
It's been a while since we chatted on this level. We ain't going anywhere. Just had to take our break because the next off season was pretty lame, to say the
Lame,
least.
lame is being nice.
hmm And even till this day, still nothing serious by this team. So I'm really hoping that I can't say that they know what they're doing, but they actually have a plan. And then their actions or no actions is really sticking to those plans. That's my hope and that's my positive thought for the organization. But looking at the off season, it really gave myself an opportunity to calm down, saw how things ended for 2023 season. I had my ideas as to what they needed to do. I didn't see any activity in the summertime, so none of the things that I thought about was going to happen actually occurred. My biggest shock, of course, well, I shouldn't say a shock. It wasn't a shock. It was bound to happen. You know that Obi was going to be out of there, but I was very shocked that they was actually went to DiVincenzo. Much as I like him from Villanova, they have a plentiful amount of guards on this team, and I'm not sure how that's really going to play itself out. Um, from what I see, this team is built purely around struggle, fight hard type of players, not necessarily skill. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it makes it very hard. You have to work hard for every single game, every single quarter, every single possession. And in those scenarios, your emotions can get really high and low in those situations because you're fighting hard every single time. So that's my concern. But I like one thing I do like about what transpired for this offseason that there's a certain level of continuity. And so what you've seen from other teams in the past who've had a measure of success, they have the same players every single year, or at least core players every single year, and that's a good thing. But I'm not sure how that's going to necessarily play out because when you look around the league, Lane,
Yeah, but your core players have to have some talent, bro.
I'm not, I'm not get there yet. I ain't get there yet.
I'm just saying. That's
When
what
you
I
when,
was saying. That's
when
what
you
I'm
look around
saying.
the league, a whole bunch of talent came into this league, and although may not be at the experience level, man, there's some serious talent in this league, and that's going to be the biggest challenge for this team is dealing with those types of teams that have a lot of energy, a lot of movement, a lot of activity, a lot of skill, and it's going to really challenge the will of this team because the skill is not there. And that's my biggest concern for that. The talent that's on this team, um, it's a hardworking team. You would think that their individual um, uh, uh, development efforts that they performed over the summer is going to play itself out over these are next 82 games. We're going to
Hmm.
see how that plays out. Um, the preseason games really didn't tell me much because they a lot of them didn't play, and it's preseason, so you're not going to get regular season type of activity and focus on the players in the preseason. You're just not going to do that. So for me, whatever happened in the preseason really doesn't matter. From as a foregleam as to what goes into the 2024 season. I remember some years back, the Knicks went uh, they won every single game in the preseason. They didn't do nothing that season in the year. So preseason to me doesn't really mean anything. It's just to make sure we come out of preseason healthy. That's all I
Yeah,
care
just
about.
don't get injured.
That's all I care about. Just come out of the preseason healthy. That's all I want. Beyond that, let's get the game started on Wednesday, the
I
25th,
mean,
and
same.
we can
That's the
see how
same
they
thing
play
with summer
football.
league too.
Yeah, but summer league, you're not getting your core players in the summer league. You're getting the rookies and the second year type players coming and playing in the summer league. So I'm
That's
not
true.
worried about that. You know.
No, I'm saying
Mhm.
that it doesn't matter.
Oh, from that, what matters it matters to me in certain areas. Like I talked to you about Grimes. Grimes, in his struggles as the lead person as he was transitioning into that summer league, it clearly showed that he wasn't at that level yet, and there was something internally that I perceived that played itself out in the playoffs because he was very jumpy in the playoffs offensively. Defensively, he was fine, but offensively, he was very jumpy, very skittish with the ball. The ball, he fumbled a lot with the ball, and that didn't play itself out. He couldn't be able to control his emotions in that way. So tense moments emotionally during those offensive sets. That's what my concern. So I'm hoping that he's been able to manage that portion of his game during the summertime and develop that fortitude to be able to deal with those situations coming into the season and let it play itself out during the season and then hopefully into the playoffs as well. That's my thoughts on that one there. But um, as you know, I'm not the biggest Tibbs fan. Tibbs is going to get us to the playoffs. I know he's going to do that. I don't see him as a head coach is going to get us. He may get us to the Eastern Conference Final throughout his tenure. I don't think it will be this year, but it probably will come in his tenure. But I don't think he's going to get us to the playoffs. I mean, get us to the championship series. And that's what I see his limitations are because his inability to be able to have an effect offensively and to rely upon um, the players, his offense to be really keyed around certain players. If that's going to be the case, he really needs to have stars who can produce on a high level offensively in that particular role. And I don't think we have those type of players on his team. You know, I know Brunson's my guy. I really want Brunson to play um, a little bit different from last year, and that means that his offense may come down. But as I told you at last year, I need him to be at 8 assists because as it showed in the playoffs, when they keyed upon him and the other guys, they just weren't in rhythm in the comfort zone during those times. And he did his thing. He did his thing. But I need for him to be able to allow other players throughout at least the first 3 quarters to keep them stable, keep them in the game, and let him just deal with the fourth quarter. That's what I would love to just have.
Well, here's the point I try to get across to you, and maybe I'm not articulating it well, but
Oh wow, we got to go there.
and
We got to go
and
there starting out 2022, 2023,
no,
22,
but
24.
I'm just saying that
Articulate. You got to articulate.
if you want him to be at 8
I mean,
assists,
he was at 6.7 last year. I mean, it's this.
yeah, but if you want him to be at 8 assists,
Mm-hmm,
you have to give him that he's given the only person who I guess, for lack of a better word, is reliable that he
mm-hmm,
was passing the ball to was Julius, because Grimes is not reliable offensively. Neither is Jr. I mean Jr.
RJ.
RJ.
At least you're
Right?
calling him RJ now.
Well, I, I still think he has no J, but I'll just call him RJ for now.
Mm-hmm,
Um, but he's not reliable as offensively. So it's gonna be him or Julius scoring. I mean, Mitchell is gonna was gonna be able to pick and roll and dunks. Sure, he's pretty good on those, but it's kind of hard to average 8 assists if you only can rely on one person. They need if he was playing with someone like, I don't know, like Mitchell from Cleveland or something like that. Although I think that backcourt would be kind of small.
mm-hmm,
But if he was playing with someone of that ilk with that type of offensive ability,
mm-hmm,
um, you know, he probably would average about 8.
mm-hmm.
It's difficult to average 8 assists if you only can depend on one person, because Grimes, as good as you as a person may think he can shoot,
Get that right, because I know you was going something.
he he he's just not he's just not consistent.
Well, here's my answer to that. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I'm going to give them these 20 games. to see how their development in the offseason plays itself out on the court in these first 20 games. I need to see all the stuff that they've been talking about that they've been doing, have it play out. Because there is a need to make sure that they still pass the ball around. They need to get the ball out of the hands to keep the offense moving, to keep the defense not as a set defense every single time they come down the court. They need to be able to get movement and to allow the other teams to at least guess as to what they're trying to do. To not have to always play against a set defense every single time. And that's the biggest challenge they have because they do an ISO based offense, which is if you have elite talent on that level, that's another thing. But they don't. So they got to leverage their ability to be able to move around and to find the open man to a certain extent, at least in those first three quarters. Get that movement going. Get the defense at least guessing or doing something different. And when they have an open shot, make it. Let's see how that plays out, for this season, for those first 20 games and see what happens because
If they have an open shot, make it.
they got to make it. They got to
Who?
make it. They shot whoever is the open man shooting. I don't care who it is.
They don't shoot well enough, bro.
But
No,
again,
well,
again, Glenn,
well,
Glenn, Glenn,
well, well,
Glenn,
wait,
we're
wait,
going based on last year. I
wait,
said
wait,
the
wait,
first 20
wait.
games, let's see
Listen to
how it
me.
plays out. That's what I'm
Listen to
going
me.
on.
Listen to me. Dante shoots pretty good, or I should say pretty well.
Dante
Dante,
shoots that way last year because he was shooting open shots.
you
He
just
was
said
with Golden State. He was with Golden State. He was so the Knicks don't play that way. Is my point. So are those open shots going to be available in that same context? If it is, I'm happy for it. And it and if he has the ball in his hand, I feel confident he's going to make those open shots at the 40% clip that he was doing last year. However, they have to play a style that's going to get them to be in that position. And if they're playing against a set defense every single time, there's not going to be a real open man. But they're going to be playing set two men on their feet. So you have to have movement. That's what's going to give the defense to think about something different about the game when the Knicks are playing offense. And if that doesn't happen, then you're playing on that ISO game. You're playing on that, Randall on the elbow
well,
doing his thing and
what I've
throwing the
already
ball across the sidelines and hoping that by that happen you got a man open. If they setting picks in the back end, I don't know. Those are different things that are available to them. Whether they're going to utilize it, that's another story.
well, what I've already seen this year, they do look different offensively.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
With Dante, I haven't seen Hart play much at all.
Yeah, we didn't play much.
But with Dante, I definitely see a difference. I don't know why they've been playing the French kid uh for I
They're
guess
trying
they
to trade him. They're trying to trade him.
yeah, I guess they just showing him off so they can get somebody to be interested in
Yeah,
him.
they're trying to trade him.
But it's just a matter of uh being able to knock down the shots. I think Dante can do it. I know Quickly can do it.
Hmm.
But I, I don't have any confidence in him. And Julius can shoot. I give him credit. He can shoot. He can shoot the ball. He does dribble too much and he does ISO too much, but he really can. For his size, he's a pretty good shooter. Must give him credit.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't see Brunson being able to become an 8 assist man a night with just now with just Julius. Now, if they can see a way of getting Grimes out of that starting position and perhaps putting Dante in that starting position, um, I can see that being a benefit. He's not as good defensively, but he's pretty good defensively.
Mm-hmm.
He's not as good as Grimes, but he's not bad defensively. He's a pretty good defender,
Mm-hmm.
and he's definitely a better shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And he also can handle the ball a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I would like to see something more like that.
I hear you. I hear you on that.
I
I don't. I
just
don't. I'm not dismissing that. I understand where that's coming from because there's a combination of what transpired last year and the prospects of what we're projecting what's going to happen this year about it as well.
yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to see how they can utilize Brunson and Dante better because I really don't think Grimes is the answer. And I'm going to say something that's going to be sound strange to you. I actually
You say
seen
something strange?
I actually seen improvement in RJ. I actually have seen improvement. Because you know what I've seen. I've seen him. I've seen him stop shooting the three as much. He stopped shooting three as much, and so now he's going down. He's trying to go to the basket like he should have been doing in the first place.
You said something nice about RJ.
No, listen. I just all I said to you, and I've said it from the very beginning, which is true. He can't shoot. He's not a good shooter. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have ability. He has ability, but you have to play within your ability. If you're not Steph Curry, then don't try to be Steph Curry.
I could tell the whole league that.
Well, I mean, some people can shoot okay, like Clay shoots okay, so Clay can be up there trying to shoot like Steph Curry. He may
Hmm.
not be as good, but he's
Hmm.
good enough to get away with stuff like that.
Hmm.
But but if you know you were limited in this particular area, don't try to do too much. Yeah, rather than take 15 threes a game, take 4 threes a game, 5 threes a game. You know,
Hmm.
it's, go to the basket. You're strong. He's a strong young man.
Very, very
You
strong.
know, these guys, these number threes, they can't check you. Take them
And
down low.
and that's the nuance of the mantra of if the three is open, if you're open, take the three. Because a lot of times the defense is just giving you that shot anyway. So just
Yeah, but
because they're giving it to you, you
yeah,
don't mean you have to take
why are they giving it to you?
it. Hello.
They giving it to you. Yeah, I'll give it to you too. It's just
And again, that's different from just playing basketball. That's not even playing basketball. That's just that's a technique that these coaches are now putting in person's head to just to get away from just get to a numbers aspect of the game, and it's not even pure basketball. There's an element of the game where when you're on that fast break, your point guard's in the middle, you got your two on the side. There's a way of how to go about that 3-on-1, 3-on-2 break. But when they just stopping at the 3-point line, the defense really doesn't do it. You're not making the defense do anything but just stop, wait for the rebound to come. Because you're not going to hit that at a high percentage, number one. So just because this open doesn't mean you have to do it. And you're making it more easier for the defense just to go get their rebounds and just bring it back up court. So
exactly.
that's just so that mindset of what they're teaching, what they're coaching these players to do, just to play by the numbers, takes away just playing basketball. And that's what we don't really see on the court. And just persons who know how to play basketball.
If 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 the coach is telling you if you're free, shoot, and the coach knows that you're not a good shooter, then that is terrible coaching.
Well, that's what he's saying.
That's terrible coaching. Now, if if
He actually
if,
said it in the preseason.
if now if the coach says to you, if if you're free sometimes, go ahead and take a shot sometime. Fine, fine. But it makes no sense to chuck up 12, 13, 15 shots 15 threes a game, you know, come on,
It's not
man.
basketball. It's not basketball.
Now, again, unless you're Steph Curry.
It's a
And
part of the
then,
game, but it's not the game.
yeah, because I mean, but if you're Steph Curry, you chuck up 15, you're gonna hit 11 of them. Okay, we'll take that. But
Oh man,
if
if he's shooting
but if
50, if he's shooting at that 75, it's over 70% clip. Hey,
shoot it. But but if you're shooting 15 and you hitting two of them,
yeah,
come on,
not gonna
dude.
be able to do it.
Exactly.
Less
Exactly.
than
And
20%.
and like you were just saying about the rebound, what's gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen? Gonna get long rebounds,
Mm-hmm.
right? You out of position,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And just like in RJ's case, just like he is stronger than most number threes,
Mm-hmm.
those threes are usually quicker than him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take him time to get back into position.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're shooting a three and you're out of position, you're already at a disadvantage.
Because you're looking at the shot, and
Exactly.
if if you're taking a shot and looking about getting back on defense, you're gonna miss the shot.
Exactly.
'Cause you can't have your mind in two places. you know. So and I don't want to be negative on this team at this point. I'm thinking optimistically about their ability to be able to take some of the deficiencies of last year. I hope that they worked on them, and I want to see it play out in the first 20 games. I want to give them that because this is technically a new team, although the core may still be there. Adding, um, taking away that power forward and replacing it with a 6'4" guy in two situations, Hart and DiVincenzo, possibly playing the four, and even some RJ playing the four, that 6'7" guy, that just totally changes how you go about your defense in itself. And so you definitely don't have to have the size. And there were portions of the preseason where there were the teams really took advantage of that size when it came to offensive rebounds.
Sure.
And
I
so
think what
so
you I'm
so
sorry.
that's a concern there. That's a concern there for me.
I think what you're gonna find is that they're gonna probably wind up using what's his name at the
Hartenstein,
no
Sims.
Sims at the four.
Did you see Sims
Hartenstein,
take jump shots?
he looks terrible. He looks terrible.
You know what it reminded me of? Remember Bill Cartwright's jump shot? That's what it reminded me of. when he would do his well, he was actually
Actually, actually, you know what? I mean, it it actually looked like Bill Cartwright's jump shot and a little bit like Dennis Rodman too.
mm,
Where
mm-hmm,
Rodman used to take those quick shots,
mm-hmm,
you know, because
mm-hmm,
he didn't have much of an offensive game,
mm-hmm,
and so he would throw it up there. His
mm-hmm,
his his surprisingly would go in sometime though.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
But Sims can be uh pretty reliable rebounding
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
defending.
I agree.
I think
He has the ability to be able to defend out in the wing, out
yeah,
in open space.
yeah.
He's better out in open space than he really is
He's
defending the rim.
he is very good out in the open space.
mm-hmm,
He has he's a very big man, but he has surprising quickness.
yeah. And for his block shots, he relies upon his quickness instead of really timing his blocks.
Yeah,
He
he's
needs to
like
improve it because he can get to the ball. He needs to improve that aspect of his game because he can get to the ball, but he relies too much on that aspect athleticism than just actually knowing how to block a shot.
and the boy can jump out the gym.
Mm-hmm.
The boy can jump.
Mm-hmm. I like him since he was in college. I was hoping for that pick at 58. He was there. I was hoping for it. So and we got him. I and McBride. It's going to be interesting this year. This is his Just put up or shut up there for him. I don't think it's going to get too much minute unless IQ was traded or something like that. But if his opportunity calls for it, what I did see in the preseason was a little bit more aggression, a little bit
On
more
who
of him, McBride, a little bit of him playing more like the G League type of guy,
he he
but he was a
he
little bit more
actually
aggressive.
he actually was shooting pretty good too.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. He played more like he was in had the confidence level when he was in the G League.
Um,
Hmm.
see, but aggression doesn't always translate into success. But
It
he was,
doesn't. But he
but
had
he
no
was,
aggression last year. He was too scared to do anything.
well, I don't know about last year being scared, but I can tell you this year in preseason he wasn't scared. He was chucking them up, and they were
Hmm.
going in quite
Hmm.
often.
But that's so. Yes, it is. It's a factor into it. Either he was told not to, and now he's been given a green light because of what he's done over the summer. That's one way to look at it as well. Or because he wasn't comfortable in his own shot, which made him very tentative on the court offensively.
Yeah.
Defensively, he's still going to be on a hawk on the ball. I mean, I love his game against Boston when he played, and so the opportunity, if it's given to him, I know he will take advantage of it. But
One
will he get that opportunity? I don't know.
one thing that I see in him, he still has a tough time going left,
Hmm.
and he has a tough time beating you off dribble.
Hmm.
Still,
That's a confidence issue.
although
Hmm.
although beating you off dribble going to his right, he has
Hmm.
improved tremendously.
Hmm. Hmm.
He'll
You
drop
go
it
in and
off
out, the in and out, the in and out, yeah, the in and
and
out.
yeah,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
go that way.
Hmm.
But his left
Hmm.
is a little. He has a little. He's a little slower
Hmm.
going to going to his left.
Yeah, it's the confidence in the left hand is not there yet.
But
In game, he
but
maybe do it well in practice. He maybe do it well in practice, but not in the game. Hmm.
I can definitely see improvement.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
definitely see. That's what I don't see in Grimes. I don't see any improvement in Grimes. Now
Hmm.
I don't. Now
Okay.
with RJ, I have to give him credit. I have seen improvement. I have, but I haven't seen no improvement when it comes to Grimes. I don't
Okay.
see it.
Well, I'm giving him the 20 games to show me.
I'm giving 20 minutes. Come on, man. I'm not. I'm not. When it comes to basketball and the Knicks, I'm not patient. Other facets of my life, I'm going to be patient. But when it comes to them, listen, I'm tired of this nonsense. Like I'm tired of them stockpiling these picks and all this
Draft
stuff.
picks. Hmm.
Look, dude, do something. You know, you know, why you holding on to Grimes? If you can take Grimes and a couple of picks and improve your squad, then do it. Do it.
Hmm.
Sorry. I mean, come on, man. I am sick and tired of this. Oh well, we got we got Dallas pick and we got Boston's pick and we got Minnesota's pick. Yeah, I mean, and meanwhile, Dallas, Minnesota, and Boston have all improved.
True indeed.
Come on,
True indeed.
come on, that makes no sense.
I'm not
Makes no
gonna
sense.
I'm not gonna fight you on that one, Big Len. Definitely not fighting you on that one.
I mean, I just listen. Like I said, when it comes to other aspects of my life, I'll be patient. But but when when it
pardon,
comes to
pardon me, I had to laugh at
when it comes to the
that.
Knicks, I'm not showing no patience. I'm tired of it.
Well, here's what I'm gonna do. It's 4 quarters of the year for the season. First 20 games, I'm definitely gonna mark it out. I have my projection. I see. I have a feeling where they should land, but I think it's more so where they
Will,
will land. Yeah,
let me ask you
basically.
a question.
Mm.
Do you understand this new tournament thing they were talking about.
That thing is irritation for me. It makes absolutely no sense to me.
I don't
But
get it.
it's
I've
a
been
money
trying to
it's a money maker thing. So
been trying to figure it out, but
mhm.
I said to myself, maybe I'm just too dumb to figure it out. I don't know. I'm
Well,
like,
that is another story, you know.
I said, man, what the heck is going on?
Hmm.
And I said, I don't know what they talking about. Knicks is gonna be playing Boston and this one and
Hmm.
that one, and I'm like,
Hmm.
what? I'm like, come on, man, just play ball, man.
Yep, that's what I see as well. So looking at this season, I actually put the four different tiers out there. Is tier one of teams that's going to get to the 60, almost to the 60 win range. It's that 54 to 60 win range. My tier two teams will be in that 48 to 53 range. My tier three teams will be that 47 to 37 range. And then tier four is under 37 wins, right? So I do think the East um, will be tighter around that 3 to 11 type teams where they're going to be in that, they're going to be bundled up together. It's going to be a lot of teams that are just beating up each other coming to that. I only see two teams in the East that's really going to be above that.
Boston and
But
Milwaukee.
yeah. But as far as my Knicks are concerned, I do feel they can actually get to that 50 plus win season.
Came very close last year.
They got 47 wins,
47, yeah.
provided that they improve in their offensive abilities, because the defense is going to be there. I don't think they'll have much of a letdown defensively because of Obi not being there. I don't think that's not going to be the case. They're going to have,
Obi wasn't that
you know,
great.
so I don't have like, any concerns on the defensive end. The challenge to their offense will be going against these young teams who are going to be up and down, and whether or not they're going to have the ability to be able to stamina to be able to stay with those teams. If they allow their young teams to go up and down the court, that's going to be a problem for them. If they allow they keep they have the ability to keep them in front of them and let them just shoot, they're going to win the game. So
Well,
that's
I
my.
think
Mhm.
I think that's I think that's where the young man you just mentioned, I forgot his name just that fast with the hair, the guard.
McBride.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where McBride
Mm-hmm.
comes in at.
Mm-hmm.
When you're going up against those real fast point guards,
Mm-hmm.
I think Brunson has a difficulty staying with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, and I think McBride and Quickly are both suited to stay with those guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because Quickly's pretty good defensively.
He is pretty good defensively. I give him that. He can stay. He can. He has. He's very long arms, very broad shoulders. It's gonna be hard. It's hard to get around him. But you give him a juke, you can probably beat him. But he's very still good at keeping his feet on the ground and staying in front of you. But for I think they can get to 50 plus wins, but I see them more as a 48 win team this year. Now, where that lands in the stream of things, as long as they get them between that 3 and the 6 range, I don't care where that goes, because I still feel they can beat the other teams who I feel will be in that 3 to 6 range. Their biggest challenge to me will be always going to be Celtics and Bucks itself. I think they can beat all the other teams in the playoffs, in the playoff round,
Including Miami.
including Miami. That may sound crazy
No,
considering what actually happened last year, but
no. Actually, I think if Julius had not hurt his ankle, we would have beat Miami.
mm-hmm,
I really believe so.
mm-hmm.
I really believe so. Um,
Now Miami will look very different this year. Um, if Tyler Hero does play, full season, he didn't play a full season last year. Offensively, he's a beast to deal with. So you're going to have that different component than what you had against Miami, because they will also struggle in the offensive set. Hero can get you points in the offensive set versus those other guys where they couldn't. They really had to go through the offense to get it. But Hero can get you in the one-on-one and within the offense too. So that's how Miami's going to look different.
yeah, but
But mhm,
we may be able to counter that with Dante though.
I agree. And then two, defensively, they're going to be weaker because of him. So
Definitely,
mhm,
definitely,
so that's
definitely.
where I feel that we can overcome his offensive, I would say, performance versus his lack of defense performance. And I think we our team will be more strong on that particular end of that against Miami this year.
And I also think that if we go against Miami, oh, excuse me. I also think if we go up against Miami, I think the pride factor will come in
Mm-hmm.
also
Mm-hmm.
because Jimmy made us kind of silly last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think that's going to happen again this year. But then
Mm-hmm.
but then again,
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland has the pride factor on their
They
side,
do too, right? Yeah.
right? And we made them look silly last year, so
Mm-hmm.
so you got to think about that as well.
Right. But I do feel that that Cleveland series, it gave us confidence, and offensively we came away in that Miami series. Um, we came in hurt, and we didn't manage that pretty well. So, for whatever particular reason, I do feel that we were able to be able this year to be able to overcome that, but they got to get to that point to be able to do it. So I'm not going to get too far into that, but I do feel they can get to 48 wins. They have the potential to get to 50, and if they do, I feel great. A top three seed in here, the opportunity is there for a top three seed, but
Can they
they
get
got to do it.
40? Can they get 48 wins if they go 16-4 in the first 20?
Oh, you asking a lot.
eh, 16-4 is 32-8, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I will say this. I welcome
Trevor,
that.
Trevor, could you pause in a second?
Yeah, sure. Hold on a second. So yeah, so that's my prediction. The probability of them getting to that top three seed, I can't say I don't know percentage I will put that, but it's there for them to take it. If they make the adjustments, perform at that level, I think top three is possible for them.
See, but you make a face when I say 32-8. But 32-8, that means that you have 10 more to get to 50.
I understand that. I understand that.
so
I understand that. I
so
do
it,
want to. I
so
understand that.
so you got to be playing some ball
Yeah, but they
to
were
win
three wins. They
50.
were 3 wins away last year.
I got you.
hmm
I
They were
got
three
you.
3 wins away from last year. So I can't say that it's improbable, but I think they, to secure that, they got to play at a pace and every single game that's going to allow them to be able to win that game and not allow themselves to get blown out, at that point. But the East, there, I do feel that they will have some competition for that 3 to 6 range, and those teams that I think will be there. You'll be surprised who I think will be in that top six.
Give
We
it
know
to me.
Boston. We know Boston and the
You're
Bucks will
welcome.
be there. But I said the Knicks, the Cavs, the Heat, and then that team across the bridge.
No Philly?
I don't see Philly doing it. I think this thing that's going on with their team right now is going to cause some problems. And unless significant trade happens for them during midseason, that's going to change what their projections will be. I don't think they will be in that top six. And they still may win because they still may win 40 plus games. I don't think they'll just be in the top six. That's all.
Wow. And if that happens, then Embiid may want to leave.
I'm not concerned with that. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I don't see him as an answer for us anyway. So no.
You wouldn't. Well, that's one thing about you. You're not really a person who like trades.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm.
You don't. You very seldom see any value in a trade.
Yeah, the right trade maybe, but not that trade. I don't see it.
Who do you think would be interested in this trade for? Just give me just name one person.
Mm. In all honesty, I want the success to come from the players that we have.
Yeah, but what I'm asking you, if you had the opportunity to get one player right now, who might you like?
Yeah, nobody. Mm,
Really?
yeah,
You wouldn't like Fox from Sacramento?
yeah. I like him as a player, but I'm good with them where they at. I'm good with my team. I'm good.
So you wouldn't want the kid from that Brooklyn has that you always wanted?
I'm good with my team.
You're not
I'm
answering
good.
my question though.
I am answering your question. I'm good with my team. I don't want anybody else. This is who we got. We're gonna make this puzzle. We're gonna complete this puzzle the way that it was designed to be completed. So let's just go play. I'm not looking outside who's who, what other players on other teams coming in. No, it's wasting my time.
So so getting Dante then was a waste of time.
He's here. It's not a waste. He's here. I can
Oh,
do nothing
so
about it.
once you get him, then that's
Once you
fine.
hear, once you hear, you hear. But I ain't projecting about what will be. No, I ain't worrying about that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is this. This listen to my logic.
I listen to your logic. I'm listening.
If if you can if you look at a player and he might be exactly what you need, what your team needs. All right, because like right now we really need a two guard because I really don't think we have a. Well, maybe Dante is the answer. Maybe Dante is because I know Grimes. I just I am I'm just as hard on Grimes this year as I was on RJ last year.
Yeah,
I
you are.
just I you know why? Because I don't see improvement. See, I have to
Well,
see
one
improvement.
thing I did notice in the preseason,
That's why I want him
they
traded.
still don't pass him the ball for him to get shots for whatever particular reason that is. I don't care what the reason is.
Because he can't
No, 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 no.
shoot.
This is still preseason. It's their offensive style, but that it's not.
No, it's not. It's not has nothing.
I'm
No,
just
no. It has nothing to do with offensive style because trust me, um, Brunson would pass the ball if he.
it's
Oh,
Brunson passed the ball not purposefully, but as a last resort in most of those instances. It's not like a true setup, you know, where like a play was designed
they
for
don't
him to
call
go.
his
So
number. That's
they don't
true. They don't call his
they don't
number.
they don't do that. It's like a last resort. So
But
he's basically just
that's
when
well
you get the
that
shot.
well
That's not basketball.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. A lot of that is because Tibbs is not calling plays for him.
I know. Yeah, he's calling
So
one-on-one isolations all the time. That's what they do, and they did that even when
uh,
Brunson was in the game for the preseason. That's all they did was
I
isolation.
no
And Abanja, I love Brunson. I just don't. I'm tired of that isolation because it limits your ability to go further down the line. That's why my concerns
but
about it.
I don't think I don't think you saw that. The two things that you saw, you do see isolation, but you also see a lot of pick and rolls. What you don't see is pick and pops
Hmm.
because they
Hmm.
can't shoot,
Hmm. But
right?
it's still a lot of waiting. You're just standing there. There's no movement because you're dribbling the ball too much. And whether that's isolation or just making the decision, they're not making the decision fast enough for them to be able just to keep moving around. If you're holding the ball and you're dribbling for 4 or 5 seconds, you better make that shot because you wasting the players around you being able to stay engaged in the game, and you want them. So and then they're going to expect you to do that same thing every single time. So when you don't do that, it's a surprise, and they're off. There's no continuity in that. So I just if if
I
you're going to
think
do that,
I think you're gonna see a difference with Dante. I
because
think
because the Brunson that was at Villanova, the ball wasn't in his hand for more than 3 seconds.
Yeah, but look who he's playing with.
That's my
Bridges.
point. That's my
He's
point.
playing, he's playing with
That's
Bridges and Dante.
but that's my point. The ability to do that is there. You got to get to that point, and I don't see that happening enough.
But he doesn't have the guys to give the ball to. Now,
Yeah,
because now, no,
I don't.
what you will find though is they do run a lot of fast breaks because they can run, especially when Hart is out there.
Hmm.
Hart will get the rebound and run the fast break.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
they are such a poor shooting basketball team that when you come down and you run those set plays, they don't hit the shots.
And why
Brunson,
you
Brunson, Brunson is probably,
so that
I would say, without any exaggeration, well, maybe not now. Maybe Dante may be better now, but last year, Brunson probably was the best shooter they had. Well, no, quickly is also quickly can shoot as well, but um, they just don't have
hmm.
great shooters.
Hmm.
So then, what do you want them to do? You want them to come down and run the show like like Showtime or like like you're playing with Dame. These, these guys can't shoot like that.
I'm not saying that that's. I'm not even saying that I'm want them to shoot at that high clip. I want more fluidity on the court. I want more movement. I want
You
more
can
ability to be able
you
to
can
pass and set up.
okay, but
There's a
you
lot of
can
that
but you can
that's
move.
left on the court.
But Trevor, you move all you want. But when the ball winds up in someone's hand who can't shoot, then what are you moving for?
No, no, no. I'm not even talking about shooting from the 3 point line.
I
Talking
didn't
about
say
moving.
I didn't say 3 point line. I
If you
just said if you
make it,
move
if you doing
you
a backdoor cut, you're not shooting the ball. You're making a layup. But
well
there's
yeah.
no movement for that. You staying
Some
out. So that's my point. There's no movement for
well
them to be able to get around.
well
There's no pick to set your
what
man to get the move. There's no back pick. There's none of that
well
that's happening.
yes it is. When Hartenstein is in there, he's at the top of the key. He does a good job with the guys cutting and him passing the ball to them. He does a good job at that. Mitchell doesn't do a good job at that because Mitchell has
He's not a
I don't
passer.
think
He doesn't think the game that way.
right. Hardenstein does. Um, I actually seen Julius improving in his passing. The only thing about Julius just a lot of times his passing is too late.
Because it's reactionary. It's not. He's not anticipating the play. He
Right,
doesn't think that
right,
way. That's because he
right,
doesn't think that way naturally.
right, right.
Hmm.
But Hardenstein does.
Hmm. But
Um,
but that's my
Hart
point.
Hart
We
does.
we need more of that to
Yeah,
minimize the effort that they when they're on the offensive side of the ball.
but
That's all I'm asking for. Let them
yeah,
do what
but
they got to do in the fourth quarter. We're going to be tough in the fourth quarter, but for those
okay,
first three
but
quarters, let's get that
the
movement.
but the only guys that can really benefit from cutting like that are three guys that I can think of will be Hart, RJ, and Dante. They would have that ability to cut and stop and pop and reverse layup and finger roll
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
all that
Hmm.
type of stuff.
That all that's true. Those
The
ones that
others,
it's
the
highly that
others
would
may
do
have
that,
the
but
others might have a little bit more difficulty with that.
and that's an area
Brunson
where.
Brunson, because of his size, he might have a little bit difficulty
But
with
even if he's backdoor cutting, he's in a position to be a threat, which means
that.
you
Is
can either
true.
score, pass the ball for another cut to lead to another pass. All of that because of that challenge that you're putting on the defense, you're making them have to react to you now instead of them dictating to you because you're playing the same type of offense every single time. And that's my problem with the offense. So that may sound like more of a Brunson thing, but it shouldn't be a Brunson thing, but it's a coach thing because he's allowing the team to make the decisions on the court. If and his thought is get open, shoot a three, and other than that, you're gonna do what you got to do. And that's to me that's very limiting to the abilities and the knowledge of the players who are on this team at this point. Because I think they can play a better style of offense that's going to make it easier for them offensively, and not to have to be so challenged when it comes to playing offensive basketball. So they're going to do what they got to do on defense. I'm not even worried about that. It's just
Well,
that
here's
offense I'm concerned about.
but the other problem that you have with that is that when you are cutting and you're playing that type of basketball, these new young men that they're playing against, they have the ability to keep up with you on defense.
No, they don't, but they're not defensive minded. They easy to fall for a backdoor cut. They don't think that way. What you're going to be missed out on is that your defense, your ability to defend the backcourt in those situations, if you're not successful in those backdoor cuts, is that now the team is now make a defensive rebound and they pushing it out. So you're going to be more subjected to fast breaks because you may be out of position, and that's one thing that Tibbs. My conclusion is that he likes that style of control of offense because it allows you to get back on defense and still be able to control. But when you're moving around a lot, you're out of position and you can't get back to on defense as easily in those types of scenarios, which makes you vulnerable on the defensive tip at that side. So it's a give and take in that scenario. But my viewpoint is if you're moving around and you get an open shot right at the layup, you're making them have to take the ball out and you can be able to set your defense at that point. So you have a more probability of having a higher percentage, which means you can play against your set defense every single time. But if you using that one isolation style of play and just to make sure you get back on defense, that's that's a limited style of play, and that's you're not going to get too far in that with these types of players. That's just my conclusion there.
I just don't think I don't think they have enough players with that ability with those abilities to be able to run those that type of offense. I think they have to come down and be a a stop and pop, shoot the three,
Hmm.
that type of shoot the three. Of course, if you can shoot the three,
Hmm.
um, I don't think they can do it consistently.
Hmm.
Run that cut and
Hmm.
jab. I don't think they
Hmm.
can.
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Because I mean, now
Okay.
Hardenstein also can be the recipient of that. He does a good job of catching
Hmm.
those things
Hmm. Hmm.
because he
Hmm.
thinks pass.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
He's actually a good basketball player,
He's a knowledgeable player. Yeah, I agree.
but
I agree.
he doesn't depend on just his ability.
Hmm.
But if you're not thinking that way, it's
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Hard thinks that way. Hard is a very good basketball player.
But yeah, I still want more for him to develop his handle because he has a challenge in traffic. So that's one thing. He hasn't done that in the 8 years he's been in the league, which I'm kind of mad at, but that's another story. So I didn't get your prediction this year. I said 48 wins, and if they had the opportunity to get to 50, that probability is there, but I think them going really going to tap out at 48 wins and be within the 3 to 6 range. What you saying? What you saying, Glenn?
Oh God,
You had all summer to think about this, and now you're
no,
gonna.
I just you know I just don't like their offense, man. 45.
Okay.
I just don't like their I don't and I don't like it. I don't like the just like the offense because of what you said.
Mm-hmm.
I like the offense because of they can't shoot. And I think they're gonna lose a lot of games because of just the inability to put the ball in the basket.
Okay.
Not, they're gonna lose a lot of games, um 109 to
Mm-hmm.
88,
Mm-hmm.
like 107 to 91,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. You know, they will they will probably not give up too many 120s.
Mm-hmm.
Very they may give it like one maybe they go on the West Coast and they play the Lakers or Sacramento, they may give it like 125, 130. But for the most part, they're gonna be stopping teams and holding them to around 100 to 110, 111,
Mm-hmm.
107, 105. But they only be they're gonna have a hard time scoring
Mm-hmm.
unless they can get Dante in there and utilize his shooting ability.
Mm-hmm. He's
But I just
surprisingly athletic. He's a good, really good basketball player. I would like to know he's in Villanova too. So.
I
Mm-hmm.
think he's a very good basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a good signing,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I just don't I just I mean I, just like I said last year,
Mm-hmm.
whenever I predict what they're going to do, I
Mm-hmm.
hope I'm wrong. Hope they win 10 more games or win 55.
100% too.
But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they have these shooters.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got the defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got the defense. But see that's why you and I disagree. I think we need to improve our roster.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point of having the picks. I don't know why you say you happy with your roster. So then why
I
you
didn't
have
say I'm happy. I'm
you did
content
say
with
you
it.
were happy.
Well, happy in the sense of I'm content. I'm not happy, joyful that this is yeah. No, I'm these are our guys. I'm
Yeah,
working with
well,
this.
but I understand that. But if you have picks, do you think you should use them to get better
But
guys?
they didn't, and they're not
Yeah,
going to do it.
but
They're not going to do it. So I'm
they
not even.
have
I'm not,
they
they're not
have to
going to do it.
eventually.
And I believe it when I see it, bro.
But don't they have to eventually? So I mean, so what would be the point of stockpiling?
As long as we have that coach, we having a young person on
But
this team
see,
is
no,
not
but
going to.
see,
Mm,
again you're not answering my question.
I am answering your question
No, you're
directly from the
not.
standpoint because
What is the
it goes back to the decision. The
no
coach
no
is not
no?
going to
But
have the patience to be able
what's
to
the
get a top pick that time
hello
of day.
hello? What's the point of having those picks if you don't use them? Tell me that.
There is no value to this team as long as this coach is there.
I,
If it was a
I'm not,
different coach,
you're not answering my
I
question. You
am.
keep focusing. No, you're not. You're focusing on the coach. I'm
Because
asking you. Forget
that
the. No,
let
no,
me tell
no.
you what. Let me tell you why I'm focusing on the coach. Because
Excuse me.
he just did that for the players on the team. Any young person on the team is gone.
Excuse me. I'm saying to you, why are you stockpiling then? Just to say you have them?
Mr. Glenn,
No, you won't answer that, will you?
I'm going to answer the question to you just like this. Their thought, what I'm understanding of their thought process, that they have a considerable better option if they have these assets to use in a big trade. But they have demonstrated themselves that they're gonna get the trade that they want and utilize those assets when it's actually going to be the opportunity for them to get that person that they want. And that person, whoever that person is, doesn't exist in these past 2 years. So until that time comes, doesn't matter to me because it's going to be something on the shelf. They're going to pull down when that opportunity comes for that person that they want. Other than that, it doesn't make any sense to have them. That's it. Because they're not going to make a move. And to that point, the person who the people they talking about? They talk, the 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 the, the, the people in the media talking about Giannis. He just signed an extension. He ain't going nowhere.
Well, we
You're
know
gonna
that.
Embiid. Philly's not gonna trade him to New York. So why are we wasting time? Lillard is gone. He's in Donovan. You're gonna trade for Donovan? Why would you do that? He has 1 more year left on his contract and give up all your assets. Stupid. So
That would be stupid.
what are you gonna trade for Paul George? He's 30, 33, 4 years
He's
old.
400 years old, not
Yeah,
even.
why would you do that? So
Well, actually, if you get boy George, if you he
mhm.
might be better than George. But actually, if you get George, then you also got to get his Walker.
So when you look at the players that are out there, whoever they trade for of those ilk, it's not going to happen. So you're talking about a different subset, and those persons who are around that same age group, and so you're going to give up assets like that for a team who already value those persons, and they're going to charge you more assets to give them up. So why even go that route? So just continue to do your thing, sign when you can, make smart trades, and draft properly. Just do that. Because other than that, it's not going to happen for this group. You're not going to get a start of these ilk of players. You're not going to do that. You're not.
You
They all
know,
signed up.
you know what would be really nice if tomorrow when we wake up we see Knicks trade for Embiid. I would, I would, I would scream so loud because I would be have so much joy that you have to eat your words.
Let me eat them.
Although I don't think it will happen either. But
Let me eat them.
all right,
All right.
man.
What's your pick for this week? We got Boston on Wednesday, Atlanta on Friday, at New Orleans on Saturday.
Loss, win, win.
2-1. That's what I did. Same
You're
for
not,
me. Two
you're
and one.
not beat. You're not beating Boston because that big boy that you had, you should have kept him in the first place. I've always liked Porzingis.
I'm not gonna argue with you on that one.
I've always liked him.
I'm not gonna argue with that. They both made bad decisions in that route, but
Yeah.
each of them wanted, and the answer could have been, but that was a whole different hierarchy, so it doesn't even matter anymore. But Glenn, I cannot believe it. We had a successful week one intro to the opening of the season 2023-2024 season. I can't believe it. We actually didn't fight as much,
Go
but
Harlem.
yeah, whatever, Mr. Brooklyn. All right, buddy. I'll see you next week.
All right, man.
Mhm.